Hi, my name is Ali, and I've been reading the tarot cards for about 30 years now. I absolutely adore the tarot readings. I find them very accurate. They can pinpoint down to, week by week if you wanted them to. A situation can unfold like a timeline from way back in the past of a situation. You can continue on and then find out how things are then going to be, and that could be anything from love, finances, career, anything at all, any question. We don't cover, and most good readers wouldn't cover anything to do with health matters and things like that. That's no good. We're not doctors. Nobody should be talking about that sort of thing, serious health matters or worse. Basically, I'm going to talk to you about the tarot. I'm going to go through some of the cards with you. So first of all, I'm going to do the cups, okay, and then I'm going to do the pentacles, the wands and the swords, the major arcana cards, and these cards are the Norbert Loesch, okay, the Norbert Loesch. They are probably one of the easiest decks that I would say that you could, there's a few that I would recommend, but I would definitely recommend these, and I'll explain as I go along the reason why, okay. When you're picking a pack of tarot cards, you need to make sure that they have a picture on every card, okay? They need to show a story. So the cups need to show a story of love. Pentacles or coins need to show a story of finances, work finances, or your security. The wands is all to do with your fire, okay? So it's the desire for things. It's the passion, okay? And the swords is all to do with your thoughts, your imagination, maybe where your ambitions come from is from a thought. So, and the major arcana are the major events in your life. Now, there's 78 cards in a typical deck of tarot, okay? And they're split into two sections. The minor arcana, which are 56 cards, and the major arcana, which are 22. The 22 cards are obviously major events, and the 56 are the minor events. Very similar to a pack of playing cards, you then put them down into 4 sections, and that's what I just explained, okay? So that will be cups or chalices, pentacles, coins, sometimes they're called other things, wands or staffs, I think, and swords usually remain swords, okay? Earth, fire, air, water. Earth is the pentacles, fire is the wands, air is swords, and water is cups, okay? So you've got to think about the elements when you're doing readings. When we get to the court cards, because you have ace to 10 that tell you the story of love or the story of money, then you have 4 court cards, okay? And those 4 court cards are all to do with the personality. Sometimes it's linked to how that person is feeling at any particular time throughout that reading, in the timing of that reading. So you have to kind of consider using your clairvoyance to decide whether or not it is actually another person that you're talking about, whether it's them or whether that's how they're feeling. So there's a hell of a lot in the tarot. And I'm hoping that I'm going to do a few of these tutorials so that you can have a little look and see what you think. I've got a few decks of cards that I would like to explain my explanations on. You can go through your own, okay? If you've got a certain deck and you want me to maybe look at that, just send me a little message. I'd love to kind of give you an explanation of what I think of each of your cards as well. Now, like I said, they're my interpretation. It may have something very different in the booklet, but I can only give you what I'm thinking, okay? Same with you. You've got to pick up what you think, okay? If you can stick to the the knowledge that you're getting from that card kind of remains in kind of the emotions if it's a cup. If it remains in a kind of theme of money or finances, linked with pentacles, and if it's a desire, then it's wands, and if it's a thought, then it's swords. If you can kind of stick into that, it really doesn't matter how you tell that story, to be fair, within it. So like I said, I'm going to give you my interpretation of it, okay? So I'm not one of these people, airs and graces or anything, so you get what you get with me, personality and all right? So here we go. Okay, so I've split the cards into the 5 different sections. So that's 4 minor arcana, cups, pentacles, wands, swords. I repeat a lot, and I repeat deliberately. Okay, because if I'm kind of, you would think this is natural, okay? It isn't, but I do have to keep going over things in order for me to get it, okay? So I want to do the same for you. You might like it, you might not. So yeah, 4 sections, okay? So that's the cups, the pentacles, the wands, the swords, and the major arcana. Okay, so they're the sections. Okay, so I always start with the cups because I think we all know all about emotions. Okay, emotions rule our daily lives most of the time. So cups. All right, cups will be linked to family, friendships, how we're feeling about certain things. It's all to do with kind of the energy of love, but it doesn't have to be man woman or woman man love. Does that make sense? It can be everything. It has to, 10 cards has to portray everything there is about love. Okay, so that's how the cards work. The other thing that I will say is that I don't do reversed readings, and I'll tell you why. When you'll say this is, I'm the reader, I'm going to give you some tarot cards to shuffle, okay? And you're going to get the cards and you're going to shuffle. I'm not going to really shuffle because they're in order. So you shuffle it away, yep, okay? You might drop one, you might. Okay, but you're going to shuffle away. How do you know that they're all up the right way in the beginning? How do you know that the person before you having a reading dropped them all on the floor and they're all the wrong way round? How do you know that you're not going to get a very, very negative reading just by the way somebody puts out the card like that or puts it out like that? Okay, too iffy, okay, for me. When you've got a layout in front of you with all of these, all of the cards in front of you, you will feel whether that feels like a happy event, whether that feels like there's a hurdle coming up in someone's life. You'll know. I trust in your intuition, and you should trust in your intuition. You don't have to have reverse readings. But, like I said, this is only my feelings, okay? I've known some very, very good readers who do read them reversed, and they've had a wonderful response, okay? So, this is just me. Anyway, so we're starting off with the story of love, okay? So this, once again, it's the Cosmic Deck by Norbert Loesch, okay? So the Ace of Cups is always the beginning of love. Aces are always the beginnings. So you have an Ace of Cups, which is love, Ace of Pentacles, which is money, Ace of Wands, which is new desire, Ace of Swords, new thought train. Okay. Okay, so this card indicates an overflowing of love and affection. Okay, it can indicate feeling drained. So imagine that everybody wants your attention and everybody wants you to, do this or do that. You might be feeling drained. Okay, but you might see this card and loads of cards surrounding it, and it might be an overwhelming feeling of love. Okay, so you can see that each card has a negative feel and a positive feel anyway. Okay, so you don't need the extra negative reversed. 2, When you're feeling as if I want to meet somebody, say the ace is you want to meet somebody, you know, I'm feeling overly happy, just sort of emotionally. It would be nice to share my life with someone else. The 2 indicates that you might be manifesting that, okay, in your life. It could be that you have a sense of, you know, you've seen somebody who's got a new relationship and you're looking at them and thinking, that's the kind of relationship I want. It's not too heavy. It's just right. That's kind of what I want. So you might be thinking that, okay? So it doesn't have to be in reality, but it is a feeling definitely here. I usually, when I get this card, I usually feel as if it's somebody who is important coming into your life, whether that is romantically, whether it's a friendship, or whether it's just somebody who's got the right information that you need. You could be standing at a bus stop and that person give you the exact information that you were looking for, because that's how spirit work. Okay, so that would be the meet of someone, the meeting card. Now the 3 is a celebration of love, maybe lust. You know, when you first meet someone, you're not sure, okay? You're not sure if it's infatuation or whether or not it actually is love. So you can see they're not really looking at each other, and it's very theatrical, okay? So this is a celebration of love. We can say that it could be linked to maybe a get together. Does that make sense? Of family or friends. It could be that there is some sort of, you know, party or celebration that's coming up, okay, where it would be it could be family get together, it could be friendships, okay. It's just a celebration. In a lot of the other decks you've got 3 people actually dancing around, so that would tell the story in that way. It all depends on the illustrator. I believe that you should choose your own deck of cards, because this at the moment there are so many illustrators out there, so many fabulous illustrators. You might be given a deck and you think, oh my god, that's really dark, I don't like them, because there are some quite scary cards out there. So it's best that you go to one that suits you. That's what I feel. Okay. So this here is where you have doubts, okay? I've got doubts about what I'm feeling. He hasn't called me, she hasn't called me. I don't know if my friend is talking to me at the moment. Everything is up in the air. You know, this is the doubts card. You can see something's doing me head in. Okay, look at him. Something's doing me head in. So that's the confusion card, okay? When you're confused, you then pull away from everybody else and you then start to think, I don't know, I just need to kind of take some time out, reevaluate what I'm feeling, okay, withdraw away, okay, so that's the withdrawal card. Then when you come out of your little cave, you might be feeling a little bit, you know, when you're distant, you're still holding back, there's still a little bit of awkwardness between you and the other person, and the other person's realising it and feeling it. So this is to do with either rejection, or it is links with reminiscing about how things used to be, okay? A lot of the time you will see either one. You might not see both. You might see, my card is all about, you know, children playing and laughing in the sun, okay? A lot of the cards are. I think the Rider-Waite is like that, and Hanson Roberts is definitely like that. There's lots of other decks that have that, okay? And that would just portray, but it says the same thing. So if we're reminiscing about how things used to be, then probably you're thinking about that you're not getting that attention now. So in some way you are feeling rejected, or it's one-sided. You've then got the 7 of Cups, okay? 7 of Cups is all about feeling tormented by emotions, tormented. So there's a sense of, you know, what do I do about this? What do I do about that? There's cups, lots, usually with cups, lots of things in them, okay? And this is all about choices. I've got lots and lots of choices. What do I do about these choices? Maybe you've got lots of people dependent on you. Maybe you don't know, you know, if you choose this, is it going to upset the other person? What choices? in the background, you've got the 6, okay? You've still got the 6 in the background there. And to me, that indicates that they're worried about maybe what the other person's thinking, okay? You know, what to do about it. Okay, so the 8. The 8 is where you think, oh, that's it, I've had enough, sod you all, I'm going, I've had enough, you're not appreciating me, you know, this is it. But there's 1 cup still standing. You might notice that no cups are standing, and that might mean something else to you. Sometimes in some of the decks it means you've got all the cups left standing, but the person is walking away from the cups. So sometimes we have to walk away from things that we wouldn't normally walk away from, okay? But maybe we have no choice, maybe we're doing it for the sake of someone else. Yeah, there's lots of different reasons why we would walk away, okay? Then you've got the reuniting with somebody from your past, a sense of elation, a sense of happiness, a real feeling of joy, okay? When you're reunited with somebody who you really do connect with, it feels so natural. If you have a look in the card, they just look very natural, very open and honest with each other. So that could be reuniting with a family member, people that don't live near you, like I said. You know, it doesn't have to be love, as in love life, okay? And then the 10. Now, these cards, the Cosmic deck, differ from some of the other cards because some of the other cards have got 2 people in them and they're very, very happy. With this, I see this as this person is very content on their own. They've got everything they need. They're very self-assured. They're at a balanced level of understanding of themselves. So if you think about that, that is usually the best way to meet another person, isn't it? Because all the time that we might be feeling needy or we might be feeling insecure, we're wanting someone else to come and rescue us. But the trouble is you're going to manifest towards you somebody who's just like you. So you're going to manifest somebody who needs caring for, looking after. So instead of that person looking after you, they're not. They're going to be just as mixed up as you. So you're better off getting to a stage in your life, in your emotional life, where you get to this stage where it's like, I enjoy my own company. I am a good person. I'm going to wait around until I get somebody who deserves me, who understands me. Okay, so that would be the 10. Okay, so that's all your ace to 10s. Okay, so what I told you I like to repeat, so I will. Beginning of love, overflowing of emotion, or I want to meet someone. 2 is the meeting someone of significance. 3, the celebration of love or lust. I'm enjoying it anyway, but it might be lust, okay? The doubt. Oh no, they're not who they say they are. Doubt. Isolation. Pulling away, isolating emotions, not sure, so better to isolate rather than continue being confused around the person. Then there's a feeling of the other person then feeling rejected or feeling as if, you know, things were fine, what's happened, not reminiscing the past, what's happened before, why was it okay before, not now? So then there has to be a choice made. Choices, decisions, feeling pressured by other people usually. Then a letting go, saying, Sodja, I've had enough. Reuniting with the person who's familiar to you. Sometimes can be a past life thing as well. And that is, do you know what? I'm happy with myself. It's uncomplicated. I'm okay. There you go. So that's your ace to 10. And we're now going to do the court cards. Okay, so there are obviously 12 astrology signs, and if there are 4 court cards in a deck times the 4 is 16. So there's 1 card in each of these cards, of the court cards, that it doesn't have an astrology sign to it. Okay, and it's always going to be your princess or your page. They are not usually assigned to a birth sign. or I find it easier not to put them in that category. So that, if you imagine that is a teenager or somebody who has got immaturity, okay, so it's immaturity within themselves, okay, so imagine a teenager, although we can all act like one, can't we, especially in love, a teenager when they're first in love, intense, a bit naive, very sensitive, okay, you know, rose-coloured glasses, you know, that's how they're looking through life. So that would be the princess. Now, or the page, okay, it's either princess or page. Now, if you take that as well to mean in the pentacles, teenager, what's a person like who's just got their first wage packet? That would be they are but they spend their money, don't they? They don't think, they just spend. If it's a wand, the princess of wands would be a spoilt person saying, I want it all and I'm not prepared to do anything about it, but I just want it. And the ace and the princess or page of swords is all about, you know, wanting to get your thoughts out there, get what you're thinking out there, but it hasn't quite, you haven't got the wisdom behind it yet, okay, so it can sometimes upset others. Okay, so imagine a teenager energy or beginner's energy linking to the sign. Does that make sense? Cups, pentacles, wands, swords. Okay, and you'll always be fine with your pages and your princesses. Well, pages and your princesses, yeah. Okay, so that's that one. Then you have these. I'm now going to explain why the cosmic deck are so good for you, apart from being quite easy to read, because you look at the face of that, you can tell that that's not a happy necessarily card. That person is isolating, you know, emotionally. They're just easy to read, but with any deck of tarot, I don't know if the booklet tells you what sign they are, what birth sign they are, but usually they say, you know, it's one of the three. Does that make sense? It's either a Scorpio, it's either a Cancerian, or it is a Pisces, okay? You then have to decide, okay? Well, you can see you don't have to decide here. So which one do you think that one is? Cancerian, Pisces, Scorpio. It's already there. You see, so it's already there for you. So this is supposed to be Johnny Depp, I believe. Looks a bit like Johnny Depp anyway. So this is a Scorpio, somebody with a sting in their tail, somebody who, if they feel confronted, then they will sting you. If they feel as if you're criticizing them, then they'll go on the attack. The good side about a Scorpio is that they're very, they can get very intense, okay? Look at the eyes, very intense. There's a gondola in the back there, which means that they can be very romantic. They like their own things. They don't like people taking away their toys, okay? That's a typical Scorpio, not necessarily all Scorpios, okay? But that's a typical, especially around emotions. So this one's all done for you again. I'll let you have a look. Can you see? So we've got left Cancerian and Pisces. What do you think? So Pisces, the fish in the fan. Okay, so Pisces describe a fish, bubbly. They can be changeable in their directions, so they can be absolutely adamant that this is what's going on, and yes, they're fine, and the next minute they've changed their mind. They can be, it's usually about an emotional thing that they're kind of believing in. Does that mean that sort of thing? They put a face on, okay, so they put a mask on, and they can be flirtatious, okay, they can be very scatty, okay, and so if you imagine bubbly, changeable, face on, okay, and scatty, okay, that's your typical Pisces. Then you've got your Cancerian, you can see the crab there, that's Cancer. So this is all to do with the hard outer shell that protects the vulnerability. They walk sideways around situations rather than do any confrontation, and they will defend their family because they have the pincers. Okay, so your Page is Princess, sensitive, tearful, emotional. Okay, the emotions are rising onto the surface. Then you have a Scorpio. Scorpio has a sting in the tail if they feel cornered, but they're very romantic, and they like keeping their toys to themselves. Pisces, flirtatious, bubbly, can be changeable, puts a mask on, everything's fine, everything's okay. Cancerian, hard outer shell, vulnerable inside, walks sideways around situations. Okay, so I've just given you the cups. So what I'm going to do is do a separate video for the pentacles and go on from there. So I'm hoping that you enjoyed this. Please give me some feedback. Let me know what you think. If you want me to look at your particular deck of cards, so I can see what I feel in that, then list the cards that you've got, and I will do my best to do that for you. Okay, take care, and bye for now.